Hi guys, Mimi G here with another sew along of my latest Summer Simplicity pattern 8915. It's a really wonderful knit maxi dress with 2 bodice variations. I'm going to show you how to sew both. Let's get started. Alright guys, we're going to work on view A. Now I'm not going to do the bottom portion of this because we've already done that in the sew along for view B. So if you want to, at the mark, go ahead and head over to this tutorial so you can watch how I attached the skirt to the fishtail. That would be super helpful because I'm just going to be showing you the top part of this dress. Okay, so you are going to be using separate pieces. So for the front of the dress, you're going to be using pattern piece number 1, and it's more of a tank top. So you're going to also need the upper back of this pattern, which is pattern piece number 2. You're going to cut 1 on the fold. You're cutting 2 of 2. It does have a center back seam. And then just as for view B, we're going to be using the back and the lower back of the skirt. And you're going to have neck binding, which you're going to cut 1. And you're going to have armhole binding, so you're going to cut 2. And then you have pattern piece number 4, which is the back elastic guide. Okay, as I mentioned, I already attached the back to the lower back, and I did my elastic, and I did all of this in the sew along for view B. So if you don't know how to put this part together, then go ahead, check that, and then come back. Now that we have this together, we're going to go ahead and grab the back of our top, and with right sides facing, we're going to stitch together our center back seam. Make sure and align your notches. Okay, now go ahead and stitch using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once you have your back sewn together, we're going to go ahead and attach at the waist. So I'm going to match up my center back seams, and I'm going to pin. And then make sure and pin at your notches. Okay, now head over to your sewing machine and you're just going to stitch these together using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once you've stitched your back to the skirt portion of the dress, we're going to go ahead and stitch our sides together. So obviously with right sides facing, you're going to pin the entire side seam on both sides. Make sure to align any notches and pin. Okay, once you've sewn your side seams, you're going to also pin your shoulders. So align your shoulders and pin in place. Now head to the sewing machine. You're going to stitch across each shoulder using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and you're going to sew your entire side seam just like we did for the other view using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, once your side seams are sewn, we're going to go ahead and start attaching our neck binding and our armhole binding. So I'm going to grab my neck binding first, and I'm going to attach mine just a little differently. The reason I do that is because I like sort of the look of a ready-to-wear neckband. And so I rather not stitch it and then fold it and then stitch it again. I rather just stitch, fold it in half, and sew it on. I just think it looks better. So I'm going to stitch together both short ends using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. So go ahead and do that and then press your neckband in half. Okay, so now that I have my neckband pressed in half, I'm going to go ahead and pin it to my dress. So I'm going to start at the center back. Okay, now that we have it pinned, we're going to head to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Now go slow, and you might need to pull just a little bit to make it fit. Now, if you have a serger, go ahead and serge your seam and then press it down. All right, guys, I went ahead and finished my neckband, and I also attached one armhole. Now you're gonna do the same exact thing. You're going to sew the short ends together, press it in half, pin it and stitch it the same way that I just showed you for the neckband. The only thing left for you to do is to finish the armholes and do the hem of your dress, and you are all done. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this sew along. Please make sure and follow me on Instagram if you're not following already, at MimiGStyle, and make sure and tag me in all of your amazing creations. Until next time, peace.